Hey guys, I wanted to hop on and show you guys kind of how we go through our readers. I don't currently have a reader with me, but I kind of made a fake reader page that looks a lot like the little stories that we do have in our readers that go home. When I do send these home, please try to do as much as you can. The reinforcement of reading over and over again and seeing those words really does help, just to build fluency and just to help your child become more confident with their reading. When we go through a reader in class, it looks a little different depending on what level kiddos are on. Some kids are ready to just read the full words, and most of them, we're still sounding it out kind of sound by sound. So it might look different depending on what level your student is on, but hopefully this helps some of you guys be able to help your students sound them out, just kind of where we are currently in our curriculum. So we always talk about the title first. The title of this one is Dad's Raft. And we talk about how the title tells us what the story is going to be about. So we always try and hit on that before we get into a story. And then the next thing I have kids do is go through and mark the vowels in their stories. Right now, currently, all of our vowels are short. So it's pretty easy. We have talked about long vowels, but they're not in our readers yet. So our vowels are short. We mark short vowels with a smile, and they say they're short sound. So that's kind of just our rule. If a word has one vowel, it usually says it's short sound, and we mark it with a smile. So they'll go through, and they should have it marked before they get home, but they'll go through with me, and they'll go and mark their short vowels. There are some vowels that we don't mark. So for instance, on this line 1, I would do Dad has, and then the letter A by itself says We don't teach them that it says A, it says and is not A's short sound, so we wouldn't mark that. We would just leave it blank, and we would keep going and marking the rest. So I'm just going to go through and mark all of ours really quick. Another one we don't mark is the, because E does not say in the, so we would not mark that it says it's short sound. Mark real quick. Also, do. Do does not say daw with O's short sound, so we wouldn't mark it. So if you do see that we haven't marked anything in their books, that is probably why. I'm going to switch to a different color really quick so I can kind of guide you guys through where we're reading. So after we would go through and mark, we would start at the top line, and we would read word by word and then read it all together. So we've practiced a lot with their blends, and their blends are just a first consonant and a vowel sound. So the blend in this first word is da. So I would have them recognize that and say da, and then add on the next two sounds. Dads, and then put it together. Dads. We do the same thing with raft. Raft. Raft, and put it all together. Once we've said both words individually, we go back to the beginning and read it all together a little more fluently. Your child may be able to read it pretty fast, and they might need some more time to kind of sound through those sounds again. Whatever they need is what we need to give them. So, for instance, we would start at the beginning and go, Dad's raft, and read it all together. We don't mark in our books like I'm marking. I'm just trying to help you follow along. So on the next line, we would kind of do the same thing. It's line number 1, because it has a number 1 right here. We would say, Dad has a big raft. And they would each have a turn saying each individual word. Then we would go back and put it all together. Dad has a big raft. And we always talk about the punctuation at the end of our sentences and what it means. Periods mean stop for a break and then go to the next one. And that's how we would go through the entire thing. We talk about question marks, really trying to drill into them what a question is, because that's just like a mind-blowing concept to some of my friends. What is a question and what's just a statement? So that's just how we would go through the whole thing. Normally, once we go through word by word and then the whole line together. I'll read it to them as a story. So I'll have them put their books down and kind of follow along, but listen to me read it as a story and then ask them questions, because we are working on phonics and reading words, but we are also working on comprehension. Reading means nothing if you don't know what you're reading. So if we get to the end of the story and they don't even know what the story was about, we really haven't accomplished anything. So we want to make sure that while we are working on letter sounds and recognition, we also are working on listening and understanding what we're reading. So that's just kind of how we go through our readers. I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing, but if you have any questions about that, please reach out and let me know. I'm also going to put a quick video up here about how we do our blend ladders, because those are kind of still popping up in reading books every now and then, so I just want you guys to be able to have confidence to do that with your kids as well. But for the most part, this is how we do our readers. I hope I explained it well and didn't talk too fast. I struggle with that. But let me know if y'all need additional help with this, because I would love to give it to you guys.